What is up, my fellow fluffy people? My name is Liquid Blitz, and today I'm bringing to you Black Ops 4 Superclass Loadout number 3. This one I have titled Reaper, because it's quiet and stealthy, but it's also seriously deadly. You will be reaping everybody's lives with this class. As per my usual style, all the info is already littered about the screen in case you don't want to watch this whole video. And as with all my superclasses, we'll quickly go over the loadout, and then we'll switch the background to gameplay as we go over the legendary strengths of this class, and also discuss some basic gameplay tips to play it awesomely. The centerpiece of this class is the Swordfish Tactical Rifle, which, to be honest, is a bit of a pain because you unlock it at rank 55, so I seriously suggest you use a permanent unlock token on it after you prestige. Trust in me, it is worth it. It's possibly the best gun in the game, hands down. On it, we have the suppressor, quick draw, and its operator mod, Penta-Burst. Oh hell yes. Now as you can see, I didn't put a sight on it because it actually has a pretty nice default scope, which saves you a class point to spend in something else. As for the perks, we have Cold-Blooded, Ghost, and Dead Silence. Now to equip all of this, we need 2 wildcards. First of all, the primary operator mod to get Penta-Burst on the gun, and perk 3 Greed. As for the score streaks, this time round I've gone a little bit different. UAV, always UAV, but then Sentry Gun and Sniper's Nest. A nice mix of defensive and offensive. Sweet. Now, I always give you a recommended specialist with my superclasses, and for this one I recommend Crash with the backup choice of Recon. Crash is the best for allowing you and your team to earn score streaks faster. Add on to that the heal boost and extra ammo from the pack, and all that pretty much makes Crash the best specialist in the game. Having said that, certain game modes require you to play a bit slower and more defensive, more situational, and Recon is always helpful with his sensor dart and vision pulse. So Recon definitely makes a nice backup. Anyway, gameplay and strengths. This is a genuinely powerful loadout in both core and hardcore. I've tried it extensively in both. So let's just start rattling off the long list of strengths. First of all, let's start with the stealthy gameplay. Suppressors do more than just make your gun quieter. They seriously reduce your muzzle flash, and you don't get any minimap signatures when you fire. Suppressors can help you in ways that you may not even realize. Now, hand in hand with stealthy gameplay, thanks to Ghost, you are invisible to enemy radar during enemy UAV, as long as you keep moving. By the way, I made a Ghost perk breakdown video testing your visibility to enemy radar with different types of movements, so running, walking, climbing, and vaulting, etc., just to see how actually effective Ghost is. So if you ever wondered, go check it out. Next strength. This class has almost silent movement thanks to Dead Silence, which is a bonus for any class. And on top of that, this class also has what I call high resistance and survivability thanks to Cold-Blooded, which, in case you don't know what it does, it sort of delays or straight up worsens any ability, equipment, or score streak that targets you, whether that's AI or player controlled. So, as you can see so far, this is the perfect quintessential stealth class. It's perfectly sneaky. Sneaky. I originally called this class Sneaky Sausage because it amuses me. But I decided to switch the name officially for Reaper because I think that better describes how actually powerful this class is. I'm pretty sure Sneaky Sausage doesn't exactly inspire fear in the hearts of your enemies. That being said, if there's one thing I fear above all else, it's a sneaky sausage. Anyway, enough about goddamn sausages. The stealth is awesome, don't get me wrong, but even awesome stealth doesn't mean much if you can't, bring the pain. And that's where the Swordfish comes in. This weapon, especially with the specific attachments that I've chosen, is like, you may as well be wandering around the battlefield with Gandalf's staff because this is some magical shit. First of all, it has very high accuracy. It's actually got a higher accuracy stat than any other gun in the game, even sniper rifles. Nuff said. Now secondly, on top of being hella accurate, it's also got a high damage output. You may actually look at the damage stat and think, hey, hang on, the other 2 tactical rifles do more damage. Nope. The The Swordfish shoots so fast that its DPS, its damage per second, is really what matters. It does medium damage, but it does that very quickly. Do you see what I mean? And that just makes it epic. Now, on top of that already high DPS, we have the operator mod, Penta-Burst. Bro, seriously. Penta mother effing burst. The Swordfish, okay, it fires 4 rounds per burst by default. Penta-Burst adds a 5th round to every single burst. And for those too lazy to do the math, that basically directly means you're doing 25% more damage. 25! After using this class extensively, that 5th round actually often makes the difference between just damaging someone and killing their ass. Now, also, the Swordfish has a decent range. It's not better than the snipers or anything, but it's better than all the assault rifles. And since I've thrown on Quick Draw, you aim faster than default too. I wanted Quick Draw because while this class is stealthy, it's designed to be offensive and on the move. I never ever camp. That's just not in my repertoire. I'm always on the move, and I design my classes to be that way. And Quick Draw gives you a straight up nice simple boost to reaction speed. That's also why I didn't put the rocket launcher on, you may have been wondering. Instead, I decided to go with Ghost. Stealthy, but quick and deadly. Anyway, the last strength about the weapon we already mentioned. You save a class point by not equipping a scope because it has its default scope, so win-win. The last couple of strengths are specialist dependent. With Crash, your whole team, not just you, your whole team earns score streaks faster, and you get a heal boost and extra ammo. And with Recon, I mean, seriously, wall hack lols. Anyway, let's move on to some basic gameplay tips. My first tip is to constantly keep running and pushing the enemy during enemy UAV. Like I said, since I chose not to equip a rocket launcher, you have no choice but to keep moving when they throw a UAV up. And actually, I've always thought this. If you equip Ghost and you're running around during an enemy UAV, you actually have a slight advantage because the enemy doesn't expect you to be around the corner. Like doesn't expect you more than normal. Do you see what I mean? So it sort of like puts them off their guard. Anyway, next tip. Jump and aim down sight around corners. I've always done this, and it works especially well if you've got pretty fast reactions. It gives you like an extra surprise factor. It also fits in perfectly with my whole silent but fast and deadly vibe. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The reason I do the jump while aiming down sight around the corner tactic is because if there is an enemy around the corner, you're already aiming at them, rather than having to depend on your reaction speed of aiming down sight once you've already seen them. Do you see what I mean? It gives you a slight speed advantage. Anyway, as for the specialists, with both Crash and Recon, you want to be really using the weapon and equipment as soon as it recharges. The faster you use them, the faster you can re-earn them. It's all about maximizing your score and helping your team. With Crash, and I do recommend you use Crash, not Recon, even though I've stated Recon as a backup. With Crash, try and place the ammo pack in front of where your teammates are spawning, so they're more likely to see it and pick it up. The more people pick it up, the more score you get, but also the more score they get. Now with Crash's TAC 5 heal boost, remember that it is a full heal as well. It's not just a boost, it's a complete heal for your entire team. And on hardcore, you can't heal at all. So on hardcore especially, you might want to time your TAC 5s well. Like if you're on like a really nice kill streak but you've taken a bit of damage, TAC 5 that bad boy. With Recon, it sort of depends on the game mode much more than it does with Crash. But my general advice with Recon is to fire your sensor dart towards enemy choke points, like where you are pretty damn sure enemies are going to appear. It's often the best idea to place it kind of central on the map, just to make the most of the radius of coverage. And always, always, always shoot it like against a wall or against cover so that enemies can't see it from their side and take it out. And if there is no sort of really decent cover, then I suggest you just shoot it somewhere really up high or somewhere weird where people aren't going to really look. Anyway, that's it for tips. They are short and basic tips, but I mean, we all have different play styles, so my tips might not work as well for some of you as it does for others. It's honestly the loadout that's most important. I mean, hey, some of you guys might end up using this class in ways that I haven't even thought of. I suggest you do give it a go. It really is an awesome class to use. Like this video if you liked it, like this video if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more similar content, and I live stream regularly but only over on Twitch. There's a link in the description to my Twitch channel. Hope to see some of you guys over there. Liquid Blitz, out.